Okay. Let's go to Carrie. Carrie in California. Hi.
Hi. So I have been doing, well, I guess you'd call it inquiry, more like just trying to be with my immense, deep, horrific pain, and just try to get to the bottom of everything that's been going on for me. Just trying to get through it all.
Yeah. And psychological pain, emotional pain, or physical pain?
It's psychological.
Okay, that's what I felt, but I always want to check in.
And I mean, I know what's happening. I know I'm getting close. I know I'm getting closer to just. It's the tail end of all of the turmoil of a very long. I wasn't searching for any of this.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to do this.
It found you, huh?
It just found me.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know who you were. I had to find you to figure all this out. And I'm trying to I'm trying to get it done, and it's not happening. And I know that that's not how it works.
What seems to you to be the sticking point? Where do you feel like you keep getting hung up, over and over and over? If you can put it into words, I know it's not easy, but
really hard to put into words.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
I'm so sad all the time, and
where do you think the sadness arises from?
Well, what just kind of came to me the other day is that I figured out that all my life, and I know you've only got a short amount of time, but I figured out that I created this situation where I was always looking for love from people, and then I would set up relationships with people where I couldn't get that. Yeah. And then sabotage relationships with people so they wouldn't give me love. Right. Yeah. And then set it up all my life over and over and over. And so I just came to the end of this relationship, to end all relationships, that just totally threw me for a loop. And I feel like I can't get over it, and I know it has nothing to do with that. But I feel stuck in dealing with it, and I feel stuck. Okay, so let me ask you another question. What do you feel keeps you from being able to receive love? Well, what I tell myself is that I don't deserve it. That's always at the bottom, isn't it? Yeah. I don't deserve it. Yeah, because if somewhere deep inside you don't feel like you deserve it, well then, like you said, you'll always be sabotaging yourself, right? Even if you did find it, you still wouldn't let it in. And I mean find it in the sense, ultimately, we have to find that love within ourselves. It's nice to receive it from somebody else, of course, but when you really feel like you don't deserve it, you can't really receive it from the outside, and you kind of can't receive it from the inside either. So what is it? So when I'm meditating and all of that, I can feel it. Yeah. And I can tell myself in my mind that I know that that's what's going on. And so that's why I don't understand why it's not just going away. Yeah, because I understand. This should all just be fixed now. That's right. I understand it, therefore it should be gone. Right. But of course, as you well know, as you are living out, like everybody, like every human being lives out, is we can be confused, but even if we think we have quite a clear intellectual understanding, we realize, man, things don't actually, it's not all derived from just an intellectual place, right? Yeah. So what you need is a way to kind of really get down underneath even the sort of understanding of your bright mind. Even under the deep layers of sobbing and crying? Okay. Yeah. Because look, one of the things is
it can come from lots of things, upbringing and all that kind of stuff. But it ultimately also originates. I mean, I see this is what I call the epidemic of Western culture, right? Personal shame,
Yeah.
not deserving. It's epidemic. I mean, like 98% of the people I meet in the work I do suffer from it or have suffered from it, right? This unworthy. And then you go, whatever your life experience is tends to just reinforce, this sort of sense that
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are almost even born with to some degree or another.
Right.
And it starts to become the way that we know ourselves at an emotional level, not necessarily sometimes at an intellectual level, but even more importantly at an emotional level. I know myself, I feel myself, my familiar sense of myself at an unconscious level, sometimes conscious, but is through feeling unworthy. That's what's familiar to me. That's what I know. Right?
Right.
So why I'm saying that is because there's a sense of when you start to really own up to that and see that, like, oh, part of this difficulty is, yes, it's very, very uncomfortable. It can be very, very sad. It can be depressing and all that. But even deeper than that, this is how I know myself. Who would I be if I wasn't somebody that was unworthy? All of a sudden, you wouldn't have any idea who you are.
Oh.
You wouldn't even know what to orient around.
Oh, you know what? Because I was trying, who would I be without so-and-so, the person that I was with? So that with inquiry, who would I be if I wasn't unworthy?
Right. And in a real way, because, inquiries, it's talked about a lot, and so it's easy for it to become sort of this cliche thing that we're just doing to try to...
No, but I know what you mean.
In a deep way, like, this is how I know myself.
Right.
That's why either I can't receive love from myself or others, and even if it comes from somebody else, that's why I can't receive it, because I see myself as somebody that's unworthy. And part of that is like, well, why would I hold on to that? Well, the reason you hold on to it at a deep unconscious level is because that's how you know yourself.
Oh.
And underneath that, you can even start to feel sometimes very quickly like, if I didn't see myself as unworthy, I wouldn't know myself. I wouldn't know how to recognize myself. See what I mean?
Yes, I do.
Because what people usually try to do is go from, I feel shame around myself, or I don't, I have some negative experience or thought about myself, and what they want to try to get to is its opposite. Okay, I want to find the love for myself.
Right.
And they're trying to hop over this gap. And it's the gap that's important. The gap is, I wouldn't even know who I was then.
I've just gotten used to just being like kind of a loner.
Yeah. And that's, being a loner can, sometimes be fine, sometimes can be really painful. But being a loner is also, that's how I know myself.
Yeah.
It sucks. It's painful. It's depressing and sad, but at least I know myself some way.
Right.
And if you just start to open up to like that kind of wonderment, like, wow, before you even try to find something more positive, just open to that space of, I really don't know.
Yeah.
And can I let myself just kind of sink into that? Can I let myself not know? What's that like?
Yeah.
To not know if I'm worthy or unworthy, to not know if I'm lovable or unlovable, to not know if I'm good or bad or right or wrong. Because underneath that is a space where I don't even know myself anymore.
Yeah.
And it's by a willingness to open to that space, because often the mind will quickly search for a new orienting thing, right?
I'm so tired of thinking about things all the
Good.
time.
That's a good indication that you're ready. when you're just tired of thinking about it, even trying to put a positive self-concept onto a negative one. At a certain point, that just gets too much effort.
Yeah.
And really not knowing, if you really not think about it, but feel it,
Yeah.
you'll start to feel, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty nice.
Yeah.
And that opens up space, and that opens up possibilities. Just opening to that, almost at a kinesthetic feeling level.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, thank you
So
very much.
try that. Let me know how it goes sometime.
I will.
I love to know, just to know what results are, and that doesn't mean I'm looking for it all to work out. Maybe it will,
Right.
but then maybe we'll just have another dialogue about it, the next step. You never know. Okay?
Thank you.
Thanks for calling.
Okay.
Good
Bye.
to talk with you.
Thanks.